Hello everyone, I want to include this explanation before we start. So in this video we will be examining the main signs of esoteric egregores. We will focus specifically on egregores of an esoteric nature, meaning we will not be dealing with egregores of various brands such as phone brands, clothing lines, or anything like that, nor will we be touching on egregores of corporations, government structures, or other similar entities. We will take a purely esoteric egregore and analyze its features. I think it would be much simpler for you to orient yourselves with brand-based or social egregores, but in the case of esoteric ones, it is truly difficult to separate the wheat from the chaff. That is why this video will be dedicated specifically to these esoteric egregores. And with that clarified, I wish everyone pleasant viewing. So today we have a rather interesting topic, the main signs of egregores. I have been thinking about filming something like this for a long time, especially after the video on the Matrix where I explained how the Matrix scheme works and spoke about the donkey's carrot. For a very long time now people have been asking me, Nadezhda, please tell me, is this an egregore or is that an egregore? Considering that I do not even know half of the names people mention to me, and that nowadays there are so many obscure books, teachings, currents, divisions, and sub-branches, each person believes whatever they want. To sit down and analyze each and every teaching, current, or whatever else to figure out whether it is an egregore or not would consume an entire video, and I do not see the point in doing that. It is much simpler and more productive to combine everything into one approach. Moreover, since we have just dealt once again with the matrix and the concept of the donkey's carrot, this topic of the science of egregores will be very timely as a follow-up to the matrix video, because these signs will essentially reveal the main characteristics of the carrot. In the previous video I mentioned that when the donkey starts to realize something is off with the carrot, he is chasing and begins to turn the matrix gear. Do you remember that? When the donkey understands that something is wrong with the carrot, he begins to be offered other carrots. I have gone through this as well. Just as I was beginning to disconnect from the connections, they started pushing all sorts of different carrots at me. I think this is also relevant for many of you, because the same thing happens in one way or another. They start saying, no, look at the yellow carrot, it is bad. The purple carrot is definitely good. The purple carrot, the red one, look carefully at the green one, it's all wonderful. And in order for a person to understand that none of this is the truth, that it is simply another carrot, I decided to gather all these signs of carrots, purple, yellow, grayish brown, crimson green, into one main concept of identifying signs. Each carrot that the donkey chases has a goal. The goal is to keep the donkey inside the space so that he continues to turn the gear. The donkey will only continue to turn the gear if he sincerely believes that the gear is good, that it needs to be turned, that it brings benefit. This is exactly where all these egregores give themselves away very blatantly with their main signs, and now we will break down these signs. After I list them and try to explain as fully as possible what, why, and how, many of you will have a lot fall into place, and many of these carrots will be exposed. Whether or not you personally choose to recognize and expose them for yourself is your decision. As for haters who, after hearing these main signs, will try to dissect me and what I say, they can just go away so as not to waste my time or anyone else's. Let's start analyzing. I am not sure if we will need the board today, but I decided to record the video with a board since, as you can see, I finally bought a new whiteboard with markers. I think many will be pleased because it's been a long time since I wanted one myself, and it is more convenient and illustrative to draw with markers than with chalk. Let's get going. The main signs of egregores. Let's probably begin with the clearest examples. The most obvious egregores are those connected with followers, so let's call them religious. The first main sign does not even have to do with religion itself. The essence of these egregores is that they tell you in one way or another, regardless of how they flavor it, regardless of what they present, that the meaning of your existence is basically unclear. They usually say that someone created you for some reason, although the overall purpose of your creation is never really explained. But one thing is certain, you are supposedly a battery for someone, a slave, a servant, or some kind of experiment of incomprehensible extraterrestrials. The main purpose of your existence, they say, is energy. They do not even try to hide this. And they tell you that you are a servant, a slave, a battery. The ultimate goal of all this is service and worship. This implies that above you there are some gods or higher powers that you must serve. It does not matter under what guise they present it or whether they claim you are their part or related to them in some mystical way. You must serve them, be a sole source of nourishment for pray to them, do something for them. Everything is aimed at serving and worshipping these so-called higher forces who supposedly created you, created the earth or the universe or who knows what else. Now, some haters might start to mix this up with the concept of the creator I explained before, but it is not even close. Do not compare them. The principle here is absolutely different. It does not matter if they call themselves teachers or something else. The point is that your role is to serve and worship them. In all these teachings, they never clearly explain how the universe is arranged, or the true purpose of creating this universe, or the principles of why and how anything happens. They give you some hazy concepts. You never learn where they came from, where you came from, or any evolutionary logic. There is no logical chain that allows you to understand the ultimate purpose of existence. There is simply none. Everything focuses on service, worship, prayer, and so forth. That is the first sign of egregores, where you see that something is pushing you towards worship and service without proper explanation. The second sign is that there are many teachings, and not just teachings, but places where they say evil is good, you are bad. You might think, what do you mean evil is good? Let me explain. In some of these concepts, I have heard people say that a lava or a demonic entity is actually a wonderful, good structure. Some kind of forest janitor that tidies up after you because you are bad. The main idea is that you are bad. You generate negative energy. You think incorrectly. You are somehow faulty and the larva is good. This good larva comes to you, a bad person, to devour you, but it does this in a supposedly helpful way, like cleaning up after you. This is a bizarre concept, but many believe it. They believe that the larva is there to teach you something, that it is your fault that it is eating you. Evil is good, and you are bad. Everything that happens to you is your own fault, they say, and no one is manipulating you. If someone is devouring you energetically, well, that is normal. That is how it should be. This is a complete reversal of the concept of good and evil. You, a good person by nature, end up being labeled as bad, and the evil entity, the larva, is deemed good. The person who was, say, mistreated or killed is said to be at fault for it happening, that it is normal, and everything is supposedly balanced and correct. This twisted perspective of morality is another sign of an egregore. They say that it is normal that someone feeds on you because you deserved it, or that your illnesses are also your fault, that you deserve them as punishment. It is all turned upside down, and as long as you agree that you are bad and that evil is good, you sign a contract with this system. This is the second sign of an egregore, that it tries to convince you that you deserve your suffering, that you are fundamentally flawed, while the evil that devours you is supposedly doing the right thing. Moving on, the third sign is the concept of a magical pill. The magical pill is a very obvious principle. Remember that any negative entity, any larva, any disease, any unpleasant situation in your life holds on through your agreement and through false belief. Your agreement to be a victim and your false beliefs about reality keep these connections in place. Let's take an example with finances. Imagine there are a billion ways for you to earn money, as your inherent potential can realize itself in countless ways, but you hold a false belief that to earn good money you must become an entrepreneur. By thinking this, you limit your possibilities from a billion down to 1,000, and then maybe further down to one. And if you say, I can't be an entrepreneur, you close yourself off completely. This is how false beliefs block your potential. Normally, to solve problems. You must look at and work through these internal blocks. But the magical pill offered by an egregore says you do not need to do any inner work. It says forget all about your blocks and beliefs, ignore understanding the root of your problems, do not change your life. It offers you a magical mantra, a special meditation, or wondrous ritual that supposedly solves everything instantly. You do not have to analyze anything, think about your internal states, or understand how the energy dynamics work. Just recite a magic formula, put a pyramid on your head, listen to some music, and gold coins will rain from the sky, or your connections will magically disappear. You do nothing, and everything supposedly fixes itself. This does not require you to address the root cause. It might even give you a short-term effect, a brief euphoria or a temporary improvement, but then it takes even more energy from you later. These magical quick fixes never actually solve the underlying problem. They just create a cycle where you lose more and more energy. Any promise of a universal remedy that does not require you to understand yourself or change anything in your life is a sign of an egregore. It keeps you stuck, makes you spin more gears in the matrix, and in the end, drains you even further. There are no real magical pills. Any practice that claims to solve all your issues without you doing any work on yourself, any such easy fix, is just another carrot offered by the system. The fourth sign is the notion that you cannot do anything, you are incapable, and nothing depends on you. This ties back to the previous point. This concept says that everything is predetermined, that some higher forces or fate have decided everything for you. You supposedly have no power, no skills, and must always beg someone else for health, money, or luck. It is as if your entire destiny is in someone else's hands. This is a position of surrendering responsibility for your life. You accept that you are small and helpless, that you cannot change anything, that the world's injustices are beyond you. In reality, this is an extremely convenient position for those who feed on your energy. If you believe you can do nothing, then you never try to take responsibility, never seek to improve your life or understand how the world works. You drift along thinking everything is someone else's decision and remain trapped in the matrix. This concept aligns perfectly with egregores that want you passive, obedient, and powerless because the powerless victim is easy to manipulate. Recognizing this pattern is crucial because as long as you believe that you cannot do anything, that everything is decided by some external force, you will remain in the system. The truth is that you are the only one who can truly transform your life, but the egregore desperately wants you to think otherwise. The fifth sign that flows naturally from this is the idea of a magical savior. This concept arises from the notion that you are helpless. Since you cannot do anything yourself, there must be some magical entity, some higher being, maybe extraterrestrials, angels, or gods, who will descend from the heavens and fix everything for you. All you need to do is sit on the couch, drink beer, and wait for Rambo to appear and save you from the villain. You are cast as a victim, waiting passively for a hero's rescue. This is another tactic of the egregore that encourages you to do nothing, to put your faith in some external savior who will solve all your problems, free you from all connections, and shower you with abundance. It tells you not to take responsibility, not to stand up for yourself, not to become your own hero. It fosters a mindset where you remain a victim dependent on a hypothetical savior who may never come. In truth, the only real savior is you. No one else can free you from your blocks. No one else can open your eyes and improve your life. You came here to save yourselves and this world. Those who promise to save you fix everything and require no effort on your part are just another egregore offering another illusory carrot, keeping you trapped and hoping for miracles while you do nothing. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share my channel. Become a member of my Telegram channel and discuss with like-minded people as a supporting club member.